ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Om. Fifth chapter. Okay. What is the next? English to Sanskrit we have checked. Only I have to teach. Ayyo. Okay. Next, he is covering Ikaranta Shabda. First we studied Akaranta Punlinga Balakaha or Rama or Nrupa. You take whichever you like. So Rama Shabda let us take. Akaranta Punlingaha, the model word for Akaranta Punlinga is Rama Shabda. The Prathama Vibhakti of Rama Shabda we have studied. What are they? Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha. Okay. And then Napunsakalinga also we have studied. Phalam, Phale, Phalani. So few more Napunsakalinga Shabdas. And there that three sandhis mainly we learnt. In Visarga Sandhi 2, one is the first sandhi, Visarga preceded by A and followed by A or soft consonant. Visarga changing to U and U combines with O. So that means O, Ramo Gacchati, that Okara. Second is when long Akara. Visarga preceded by long Akara and followed by vowel or a soft consonant. It drops. Okay. Then we could have seen some more, but anyway we have finished that. Yesterday only we finished fast.
Once again.
Over now. Now I don't do it again. Now another is that Ra changing to No. When Ra occurs, Ru, Ra, Sha occurs in the same word, Na changing to Na. This is another sandhi we have seen. Now let us see Ikaranta Punlinga and Ikaranta Napunsakalinga. Punlinga or Napunsakalinga? I think Ikaranta Punlinga Napunsakalinga is complicated. He should not have given, but I don't know why he is covering it. It's very highly complicated. So Ikaranta Punlinga. Ikaranta Punlinga Shabda is Hari. Hari or Kavi. Hari is the basic word called Pratipadika in Sanskrit, substantive in English. And this, now the same Vibhakti Pratyaya is common to all. Sa, Au, As. This we have added to first one. He says some changes he makes it. Sa is okay, but instead of Au, the E becomes long. E is lengthened. And the third person, the ending E takes guna. Takes guna. A. Now take Hari plus Sa. What happens? Haris. Sa changes to Visarga. Sa changes to Visarga. So what happens? Hari. Harihi. When Visarga follows A, you pronounce as Aha. Ramaha. When Visarga follows E, you pronounce it as Harihi. See, for A, you pronounce it as Aha. Okay. For E, like that. For U, like that. So the pronunciation of Visarga is according to the previous vowel. Then if A is there, Ehe. Ehe, like this. Ehe. Oho. by generally people. That's why all this you need a teacher. In the books you don't explain all these things in a like a, because the problem is our modern people don't understand is, modern people want everything systematically through a book. But our traditional books were not meant for self-study. Those books are meant for the teacher, not for the student. For the teacher who has studied so many, to teach the student to a particular level of student, though he studied many things, out of them which one to teach? He has to design the syllabus and the lessons and then the order of the lessons. Everybody may not be efficient in teaching method, though he is learned in the subject. See, a teacher has to be learned in the subject, but the teaching method and how much to teach and how sequence to teach, and you may not get the examples instantly. You have to recall. A very rarely few people able to recall. Therefore, these are all teaching materials. Examples are given. Order, a systematic order, what should be taught first and next and next and next. So these things, some highly intelligent man writes a book and keeps it. This is only a help for the teacher, what he has already studied. It is a material help for him to teach. Therefore, everything told briefly there. Since teacher already knows, it is enough for him. He follows from particular pattern to teach. Therefore, student learns it. Now we people say, we translate the book and people want to study themselves. It's not meant for student. It's meant for all our shastras, like in sutra form, briefly. It is meant for teacher to teach. Because teacher adds many more things from his side. Everything is not written here. They are all scattered somewhere. Sometimes they are not written. Sometimes somewhere they are there. So, if you, now modern method is for self-study. Everything want to self-study. For self-study, then you have to write elaborately, point by point you have to explain. Point by point you have to explain. Step by step you have to go. Because there is no teacher. If you get a doubt, whom to ask? There is nobody. Therefore, anticipating your doubt, teach the next step. Anticipate what is your doubt and explain there alone. Don't use which are not yet taught. That's why in the translation practice, he uses only those words which he taught in the previous chapter. No single word occurs ever. You see the bhandar. Maybe rarely one or two words are there by mistake. I think the next edition he should have corrected it. We passed away and his son or grandson didn't do, and it continued like that. But in many of the books you see them, they teach some words. In the translation practice, they start using untaught words. Most of the books. I've seen number of books. I read them, I taught them, I used those books. Many things. Even Swamiji's book also. He uses many untaught words and teacher has to explain. So here, this way it is just well designed for the modern thing. Therefore, the designing the book is meant for teacher, not for the student self-study. Probably for self-study, then you have to write books again. Modern books you have to write. The old books are not useful. That's why, or we can say old books, we have to write commentary on the old books. So much of elaborate commentary so that the student will understand everything there itself. So, okay. So, Visarga, aha, ihi, uhu, ehe, ehe. E is dirgha. Oho. Here one more thing. When you say I, see, I is different. When you use I, he. When you use au, auhu. Okay, au becomes like o. A becomes like e. Other things are okay. This is how we have to pronounce it. Okay, so Hari, if you add Visarga to Hari, how do you pronounce?
Harihi.
Okay, so singular is over. Now coming to the dual, there in Rama Shabda, au is added. Panini system is, Panini gives the basic pratyayas. Then, as you proceed with other words, like Hari Shabda you have come, he substitutes that O with E, like that. He takes the basic pratyayas as a model. He keeps on adding, subtracting for each word. For Hari Shabda, from the main pratyayas of Rama Shabda, what are the pratyayas are added, what are removed? He says these are removed, these are added. These are applicable to Hari Shabda. Then go to Guru Shabda. These words, the next Shabda. Then these things are added, these are removed. Then yarse. Then go to, that means first he takes the basic and he keeps on little adding, subtracting. So you derive like this, keep on deriving all the words like all akaranta, ikaranta, ukaranta, rukaranta, even hallanta, strilinga, everything he derives from the basic one. That is the Panini's style of doing it. Probably like a mathematical way, he derives that way. That way he does it. So here, Hari is the E becomes long. When it becomes long, what happens? Oh, sorry, it should be here only. E becomes long. So here Hari becomes Hari. Okay. Plural, coming to the plural, E, at the ending E takes guna. What is the guna for E? A is the guna for E. So Hari becomes Hare, and As is there already. So one more sandhi comes here. The sandhi which we have learned, as I told you, like Ramotra, Ramoshvam. Ashwa has come?
Swamiji, it has come.
No.
It has come, Swamiji.
Ramotra, Ramoshvamarohati, Ramaha Ashvam, Ramoshvam. It is like this. Ramaha plus Ashvam, Ramo. Soham, you remember. What is Soham? Saha plus Aham. Soham, have you ever heard? Okay. This Sa changes to Visarga. The rule is A is there, Visarga preceded by A and followed by A. This Visarga changes to U. Okay. The U combining with the previous thing becomes O. Up to this, okay. Now at this stage, we told. Means for Aing, A and O followed by single A, Hraswa Akara. What happens? This A merges into it. It is neither written nor pronounced. This A is neither written nor pronounced. In fact, it is written closely. Ha is written close to it. Okay. So how do you pronounce it? Soham. Soham means when you split it, aham you separate first. So aham. But so is also again sandhi. Saha was the original form. Saha was the original form. Sa changes to so. After changing to so, the A is there. The A merges into previous O, and neither it is written nor it is pronounced. So in place of it, a symbol like yes called avagraha is used here. So avagraha is just to indicate that A is missing, A is merged into it. To understand the meaning, you separate the A just to indicate you. Otherwise it is so, you don't pronounce it. So hum, that's all. So hum, and don't try to put A there. So hum, that's all. A is not pronounced. A is already merged into it. So hum, that's all. So don't try to bring slightly A and like that. A is not there at all. Okay. Similarly, Hare plus As. What happens? Say A and O. A and O followed by short A. What happens? The A merges into it. A into what? Into A. It's neither pronounced nor written. What happens then? Hare Sa. Hares. Then Sa changes to Visarga. Hare. Even now this is Ravagraha, you don't write it. Hare. No, sorry. I did a mistake here. No. Hare, no. Yeah, this is also true. This is true, but this doesn't work here. That is Padanta. The rule doesn't apply. I forgot. So this is possible, but I think it is overridden by another rule. There is another rule. That's what I'm telling. And I was wondering it is a normal rule in any word, but in this context, this doesn't apply. It is overridden by another rule. Because Panini gives so many rules. The real rule is here, A and O, that what you call ayava. Ayavaya comes here. Ayavaya comes, hare becomes harai. Ayavaya comes, harai. Harai. So harai and as you join it. Harayas. Sa becomes visarga. Harayaha. Okay. Hare and as. A changes to I. Illi ayadesha sandhi has come. Now Hari visarga, there is nothing change. In Hari, E becomes long. Here two rules apply. 2 or 3, let us say. First is Hari becomes Hare. All these rules we don't need it. For children, Harayaha, you tell him, you'll remember it enough. Because we are preparing for Panini's grammar. Those who are not interested in so much grammar can skip it, learn the ready-made form Harayaha. Okay? Can ignore these things. But those who are interested, you may study. I'll tell you 3 steps. Hari changes to Hare, Gunadesha. Okay. Then Hare changes to Harai, Ayadesha. Then As changes to Visarga. A joins it, Sa changes to Visarga. Isn't it? As becomes Aha. Why Visarga? Let us say Aha. And Aha is joined to it. Like this. So 3 steps. Hari becomes Hare. A becomes I. A changes to I. And then As changes to Aha and joined here. So Harayaha. The form is ready. Now, I think I don't have to, note it down. This is noted down. So I can just wipe out. All these letters wipe out. Harihi Hari. Harayaha. Okay. Now, coming to the Napunsaka. Napunsaka Ikaranta Shabda is Vari. Varidhi. Vari water. Dhi andre nidhi. Vari nidhi. Jala Rashi is Samudra. So Vari Ikaranta Napunsaka Linga. For Ekavachana, no change. For Ekavachana remains the same. This is a bit complicated. In fact, it is a consonant ending. Nakaranta. Those Nakaranta forms he is bringing here. He should have taught it later, but anyway, he wants to use it. We have to patiently learn Vari.
For the even substantives also for neutral gender. It's not given substantives for neutral gender.
Na is added. Even for plural, for Vivachana and Bahuvachana, na is added. Varin. That means, in fact, it is Nakaranta Shabda. Yogin, Sannyasin, Yogi, Sannyasi. Those Nakaranta Shabda, it is a consonant ending. Haj Alanta, but is covering it anyway. So, Varin, na is added. In singular, there is no na. So, what is the suffix then? Suffix we have not completed. We have to add the pratyaya, vibhakti pratyaya. Na is an additional agama. So, vibhakti pratyaya, vari, varini. There is a long E. Like in Hari, long E is added here. Here, first he is adding E. He is doing 2 steps. I think he is following it slightly different from Panini's structure, but anyway, it becomes easy. First, the E is added. When E is added, what happens? Why na? Let us add ni only directly. Varini, Varini. Okay. Vari, Varini. Here, now the rule comes. Here the ni becomes long. Here the re becomes long. You have to note it. First, Vari, ni is added to both. He should have put a table. He wrote it in these things. Watch this. Vari is singular. In Dvivachana and Bahuvachana, ni added. Then the suffix ni is additional. So the suffix is ni is lengthened here. Here re is lengthened. Then what happens? Varini. This is Varini. Next rule is that the general rule. Ra is coming. Na changes to na.
There is no veta. There is no veta.
Ni and it is ni. Now the ultimate form. Noted the steps. Varini, Varini, ni is added. First step. Second step, here the ni is lengthened. Here the re is lengthened. Dirgham. Illi ni becomes long, illi re becomes long. Then the ni is changed in both the cases to ni. So the lengthened ni, here the short ni. Now the ultimate form is Vari. Say Varini.
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 Barko. Vari, Varini, Varini.
Vari, Varini, Varini.
Dvivachana, Vari, re is short, but ni is long. Varini. But in Bahuvachana, Varini. Varini. Like that. Vari is the only word he uses. One word learning becomes difficult. More words come, it becomes easy. Only one word he uses. Okay. Now, few more words let us see. I think if I do the words, I think we'll finish the today's chapter. Okay. Now, Agni. One more word. Agni is a Punlinga. I think I can wipe out these things. Okay. Agni Punlinga, like Hari. Agnihi. Agni, because the final E becomes long. Agni. Here, Agni becomes Gne. Gunadesha. Becomes Gnai. Agnayaha. Agnigalu. Agnayaha. Head.
Agnayaha.
You have to remember. Agni becomes Agne.
Agni becomes Agne.
Agne becomes Agnai Ayadesha. Then As is already there. As becomes a Visarga. Now say Agnihi. Agni. Agnayaha. You have to remember. Agniyaha helbaradu. These days, I see people, everybody wants to read shlokas. In those days, they would say, anybody should not pronounce shlokas because you tend to commit mistakes. Nowadays, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಗುರುಗಳ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇರುವಂಥ ಪಂಡಿತರಲ್ಲ, but they say that the Brahmana Vesha, everything, they come in a big platform, loudly in the loudspeaker where I think 50,000 people listen. ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಗುರು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ, ಗುರು ವಿಷ್ಣು. I told them it is a wrong. Either you learn or don't chant in front of me. Again he repeats the same thing. Then they say, oh, Swamiji is very angry. Or ಏನು ಪೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಆದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. I told him either you learn or you don't chant in front of me. He waits. ನಾನು ಪ್ರವಚನ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ he waits. When I come, I say whatever you want to say before I come. No, he will wait until I come. As I sit on the platform, he takes the mic. I must hear in front of him and he will repeat it. I say, why do you torture me? Why do you pronounce wrongly? You learn, I'll teach you. Or don't say. If you are not interested in learning, don't say. No, he will say that. Again, every day he does the same thing. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu. Then another people say, Gurur Brahma. Very good. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara. 3 places, Guru should become Gurur. Because the Visarga changes to Ra. Guruhu it should be. The Visarga changes to Ra. That we shall tell later. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara. This is correct. Then the 4th Guru comes. There, after Guruhu Sa is coming, hard consonant. Now Visarga doesn't change. Or it changes to something else. Guruhu becomes another Sa. Guruhu Sakshat, the Visarga becomes another Sa. One Sa is already there. Double Sa. Guru Sakshat you have to say. There he says Gurur Sakshat. And now why do you want to stab us like this? You learn or shut up. Why do you want to do the kuni to the shlokas? Oh, he has got so much of ego. My God, when I expect you to learn, it is my ego. What is this? And these fellows are bad managers of the ashram. And that fellow pancha utkondu tilka hakkondu mic intkondu nanna edurage mata nanu baruvavargu kaayuttane. He waits until I come. After I come, right in front of me, he says, 10 times I told him. Then when he didn't listen, then publicly in the whole, this thing, see, all this is wrong. It should be pronounced like this and don't pronounce it. Or this thing. He didn't listen. Again he does the same thing. Again, then one day I came. As I came, he is holding the mic, is ready for repeating the shloka in front of me. He is doing wrong. I told, as he started the shloka, I got up and went out to my room. Let him complete the shloka and come. When I got up and went away, he stopped it. Again when I come, again he starts. Then what should you do that? These are the rogues. If you see that, we'll become Muslims then. We'll become Muslims or Christians. You are insulting us. You should accept that we are Hindus. Otherwise, we will leave Hinduism then. You are insulting us. If you are a guru, you should humbly prostrate at us and tell. Or you should tolerate what we say. Freedom. These are the rogues who want to learn Sanskrit. You may learn. Then you continue your own language. Why do you want to spoil our Sanskrit? You want to learn Sanskrit. Sanskrit follows certain pattern, certain law. Because all our Shastras are written in that. Then you leave the Sanskrit for us, and those who want to learn can learn. Out of you, those who want to follow the grammar can learn. Then you say, we don't want to follow. Why should we follow all patriarchy? You told the other day, we have freedom. Then freedom, you create your own language and follow. Already Hindi is there, that's why. Hindi earlier was mixed with all Arabicized, lot of Urdu words. Now Hindi made into Urdu alone. Now if you want to make it English, anglicized now. Anglicized Urduized Hindi, you use it. Now you follow it. Now don't spoil our Sanskrit. Then you want to learn Sanskrit system. If you create artificial Sanskrit, you will be going away from our traditional Shastras. Then how will you understand traditional Shastra? You start editing all our Shastras according to your Sanskrit. Hereafter Guru Brahma, nobody should say. Everybody say Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, like in Kannada. See, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Why do you say Guruve? I'll tell you that Chaturthi Vibhakti comes, Guru becomes Av, Guru becomes O, then Gunadesha, that becomes Gurav. Gurav E, Gurave. U becomes O, Gurav, it should become Gurave. He says Guruve. Gunadesha without bringing, what is this? How does the V come? I say, the one shloka you can't learn. I'll teach you. I told I'll teach you. You come, whenever you come, I'll teach you this one. No, he's not interested. Then what is it? He's interested in torturing me. And he say, you must accept. Otherwise you are insulting us. Oh, you are not allowing us to chant the shloka. But learn. Otherwise don't chant and don't destroy our Sanskrit. What do you say for this? Rogues want to destroy the culture. And rogues have a freedom. And the victim is the real culture. The real culture. Earlier people, how much they worked hard. All these grammars, it's a discipline. Like a game has a rules. A cricket game. If you change the rules as you like it, do you accept it? Oh, cricket is sacred. Nobody should change the rule. and I don't understand. Then right to left to they say that bowling system like that. This is like the lot of things are there. You should if you cross the line, the bowler crosses the line, there is mistake. And many things I don't know because I never watched that game. I like the game to play, but watching is all waste of thing. I don't like the game, watching the game, because game is meant for exercise. Is not for exercise for eyes. You are not doing exercise of the eyes. It is for hands and legs. Those who want to play, let them play. But making all running commentary, cricket, TV, all this is a waste of money. Making the people lazy, and let you build the stadium, let the fellow play. Let nobody watch TV. You play cricket. That's best. What is all? Anyway, this is my view. Many people don't like it. But our English lecturer in our degree days, college would say, when I think, what is his name? Bernard Shaw? Probably George Bernard Shaw of England. And I am told he said that, what is cricket? 11 fools are playing and 11,000 fools are watching. He would say, I am the only one liked in my entire class. I liked that quotation. All my classmates, they felt unhappy. What is this? He's talking about cricket like that. I liked that statement of bah. But I feel 11 fools are playing, I didn't like again. Because when they are playing, why should they fools? Playing game is good. 11,000 watching are fools, that I accept. Playing game is good. Only first part I didn't like, second part I liked it. So that Bernard Shaw probably was not a lover of games. Therefore, poets have got language in their hand. They write anything, they say anything. There are people to applaud them, so they say anything. But I feel first one, playing is good. I love playing, and I encourage people to play. Let them play. It's very good. You may watch for just a half minute, 1 minute, okay. But continuously you can't watch. Hours together, wasting time. So, commentary and explanation and all that ridiculous. Paying how much of money and business, it become a huge industry. Making the people lazy. So, cricket game rules are there. For English language, there are rules are there. You pronounce English as you like it, write spelling as you like it. Do they like it? No. There are. Then when every language has a rules, a game has a rules, why do you want to violate Sanskrit and destroy the traditional? See, English is a daily usable language, daily using. If he doesn't understand, he will pick up your pronunciation and he will understand it. But the traditional books are there, Valmiki, Vyasa and all that ancient books, hundreds and thousands of books. How can you edit all of them? You destroy the whole thing because of for your weakness, for your laziness. For your laziness, you want all the Vedas and Shastras to be edited. And if you say one mistake, another fellow says another mistake, 100 people want 100 ways, then you make 100 books of the same book. Same shloka will be pronounced in 10 times, 10 ways. Then who will understand the shloka? Is there any meaning in it? They are only against the rules of Sanskrit alone. They don't mind. In fact, they very seriously follow all the rules about English language. Then why about Sanskrit then? All patriarchy comes only in Sanskrit alone. In English, is there no patriarchy?
Simply Brahmin hatred.
It's a hatred of their own culture, not only Brahmin. It is their own culture. Don't identify Sanskrit with Brahmins alone. It is a hatred of their own culture. It is a self-hatred. The Britishers have created self-alienation, self-hatred. The Islam and Christianity create a terrible self-hatred. All this terrorism is because you create an inferiority complex. You self-hatred. Everybody converted to Islam and Christianity becomes a self-hateful person. That's why all are terrorists. Because there is a terrible insecurity, psychological problem. Psychological insecurity. You see them, all the fellows are mental cases. Then nobody is a sane person. No single person. First, their founders themselves are insane people. When you follow the insane, they are all insane. You see them? Because they create a rootlessness. It is natural to love your parents and grandparents, your culture, your society, your land, and your ancestors. Everybody is curious when you are there. Oh, who are our ancestors? What was India like? How the Indians lived in ancient days? Everybody said. Now, if Arabians want to know how the Arabistan lived before Prophet came, is there any single evidence? Everything is wiped out. In America, how the Native Americans lived, their culture, their values, their lifestyle, is there anything? They destroyed it. That means From certain period alone you have it. Earlier it is a blank. Why do you want to cut your own roots and make you rootless? A rootless person feels that he is a shallow. Then that insecurity comes. Out of insecurity, all this problem of terrorism, intolerance and problems created. Because you are seeking identity. Identity problem. All these converted Muslims and Christians have got identity problem. Identity problem. Because who are we? What are our roots? We are rootless people. That's why Hindus held on. Even our Harijans did not get converted because they were rooted. We belong to this nation. We belong to this society, Hindu society, our ancestral culture, our own other caste or our own people. They had a great respect. Because for the culture, they are gurus. For economic gurus, Vaishyas. For administrative guru, Kshatriyas. For culture and education, Brahmanas were guru. Therefore, we are growing along with them. So they are part of us. And we serve them and they give us these three. Vaishyas give us the daily maintenance. Kshatriyas rule as our law and order. Dharma and Brahmanas give us education, knowledge and culture, values. Therefore, we learn from them and we serve them. It was a mutual. They never felt we are outside. It is an Aryan invasion they created too. Now you say Harijan means they are separate. Who said? Did we say? You go to our old ancient society. Even now, where is a village and etc., wherever there is an ancient culture, they never feel them as separate. Separateness is for discipline. Don't touch them, certain discipline, certain values. But still they feel they are part of them. We are part of them. The separation is for organization. This separation is given for organization. It is your duty. It is something like in any function. When 10 people are working in this system, you allot the jobs. So it is only its division is only for cooperation. It doesn't mean each one is individual. How can the 10 pillars live separately, independently? Pillars can't live separately unless they are joined, connected. Similarly, they are all pillars. All 4 varnas are 4 pillars. They present each one is a separate, each one is meant to exploit others. These idiots told, and then we started repeating it. Whole India, 90% of the fellows repeats foreigners' interpretation alone. This is also again part of self-alienation, self-hatred alone. You hate yourself. It is a cooperative, system. A system of mutual dependency, mutual cooperation. No Brahmana can live with others and none of they can live without these people. It's a mutual. That's why he told Brahmana should not do others' job. They alone will do that. That means you become dependent on them. If nowadays you say each one can do anything, Brahmanas do all of these things, Shudras and workers are not required at all. Workers are dispensed with. Now many people say we don't get the work because the machines are doing and they are doing on their own. You don't get the work. They see many poor people don't get the work because either machines do or they do themselves. You say that no, you should not employ them. Then if you don't employ them, they go hungry now. Now what will you do? It's creating another problem. So each one, Brahmana should not take up the Kshatriya's job. Kshatriya should not take up the Adhyana's job. And they should not take up the Vaishya job. Vaishya should not take up others. That means each one has got his own job, plenty of work. And he has to do his own duty and I have to depend on him. I have to take help of him alone. That becomes important. When money comes, Vaishya becomes important. I have to depend on him. I have to beg from him. If administration, dharma, rules and etc., law and order, I have to go to approach king. King alone will protect. If somebody does mistake, I can't punish him. Only king will punish. Then king will become inevitable. Vaishya becomes inevitable. Workers become inevitable. All various the kaigarike, the cottage industries, they all become important because without them nothing works. That means each one becomes important because of his profession. Now you say anybody can do anything. An intelligent fellow will take away 2 or 3 professions. One fellow will have that industry, this industry. One fellow pot maker, cloth maker. 2 or 3 industries he will do. Other fellows will become unemployed. Because he is intelligent, he will do all the 3. Other fellows will go unemployed. What will you solve? How will you solve? Nowadays you see, these fellows will capturing all the jobs and few people are made simple laborers alone. They were cottage industrialists themselves, a pot maker, etc. They were own producers and they were sellers. They have become labor now. Because a mass production like machines have come, industries have come, one important person produces, all other things are simple labor. He has to work under him. Earlier that fellow himself was a master, himself was a owner. And now you made him slave and they say, oh, everything is a caste system. Brahmanas hatred. You see, what did Brahmana do? Brahmanas made them slaves, or you made them slaves?
These people have.
But blame is for Brahmana. See. Brahmana himself did not keep. He did not keep political power. He did not keep money power. He did not keep cottage industries. He kept only Vedadhyayana and then only poverty. And he has to beg and take food from others. And he has got a lot of restrictions. He has to follow dharma and rules and be a teacher and responsible teacher to educate them, give them culture, values and etc. No, it has been violated by people because due to various reasons. Then they should have been rectified. Instead of rectifying, they keep on abusing more. See, abuse a particular caste and abuse the whole system. 3. Abuse means two-way abusing. Orally abusing, maligning. Abusing means maligning. Then you are creating disorder. Each one picking up any job. Each one picking up any job means you are robbing others' job. You are appropriating others' profession. Because I am telling you, I was in Hyderabad. There was an ashram outside Hyderabad city. From the nearby villages, people would come. One fellow, blacksmith, comes and tells me, from my ancestral days, I have been doing blacksmith work. Now I say, I do the work, but it's not enough for to maintain my life. I am finding very difficult. We are just going hungry and we have to eat ganji. We don't get sufficient food. I say, why? How many blacksmiths are there? They say, we and only 2 families were blacksmith in the whole village. We were get plenty of work. Now, other castes are taking up our job. Partly they are buying these ready-made iron things from the city. From the iron city, from the factory, few things get it. Partly they are getting from there. Partly other castes are entering into our profession, they are taking. I told, Kala has changed it. It was a responsibility of the king not to appropriate others' profession. See, your profession should be left to you, others should not appropriate. That was king. This was the job of a king. Varnashrama should not be mixed means what? Don't appropriate others' job. Varnashrama should be maintained. It is the job of the king to maintain the Varna identity. That means you should not appropriate his profession. He will get. So that means whenever you need the work, go to him alone and pay him. That means you will not rob his job. Each one has got a certain job and you should not rob. If there is a deficiency, suppose some families die, then other fellows, if there are more families in particular job, then the whole society, whole village sits together, makes a meeting and decides it. Then these few families can come to this thing and continue. That way it's make up. That's okay. But you can't do individually, you can't decide. It has to set up, has to decide. System has to decide. But it is not the system, it is individual deciding it. Individual deciding is becoming a problem. So when the Guru decides, Guru Agnya gives, Shastra Agnya gives, it becomes my dharma. If I decide, I go by my personal selfishness. Then it is not a dharma. Therefore, you can't change your profession. They have to, I think the whole society, the elders' society, the Samashti dharma has to decide. So I told him, the person, you take up other profession also, some small side business, like side things you do that. Because if you depend on only your blacksmith work, it is not enough because others are doing it. See, in the village, there is some definite amount of work. Some work is gone because of the ready-made things coming from city. Only partly work is remaining. That partial work also, if distributed, another 2 families have entered into our profession. The work is distributed, I get a small work. It's not enough for me to maintain. I told you take up other jobs. He says, I am taking side business, small, that thing and this thing I am doing tentatively in the seasonal work. But still it is not enough, I am not able to do. Because this is the problem. How Varna took care of them, and they blame everything Varna. Modern days alone is great. What is the great? One fellow, supposing is a blacksmith, one fellow, his son goes to a modern education and becomes a big officer or professor. Then they say as if whole society's problem is solved. 1 or 2, how many people become officers? You mean whole society becomes IAS officers?
Very less.
1 or 2 or 10 people. Then what happens to others? Then why do you disturb the whole society system? Have you redesigned alternative system? It is a free for all. That means whoever is intelligent will take away your profession, all other people suffer. And they say, this is a freedom, this is a more equality and freedom and liberty and all. Ancient system was oppressive. It is meant to only oppress and exploit. Now this is no exploitation. Everybody is so free and happy. Are they? What is this they are talking? See that how they are talking. This is what the foolishness is. That's why this is called another criticize. You believe their criticism and go against you. Talk against your. Therefore, they are abusing means they are abusing Brahmanas, abusing the Shastra, abusing the whole system, oral abusing. Then physical abusing is appropriating, what you call, making a disorder. The order is disturbing the order. Each one can take up any profession and disturb the whole order. Other people, poor people who cannot compete, they fail, they suffer. Those who are staunch and competitive, can power and control, they will take away all professions. Other people become laborers. Now this thing, abusing means two ways. One is oral abusing is psychologically you create a self rejection, self-demeaning, self-hatred of your own system, your own Brahmanas, your own intelligence, your own ancestral people. Then second thing is you practically the social system you disturb. Then what happens? Therefore this self-hatred is still continuing. It is increasing day by day now. Now with this self-hatred, now have you solved it? Okay, you hate it. Have you solved it? For now you have become more happier now? More exploitation, more problem, more competition. People are more frustrated. Those who are defeated in the competition, unduly they feel that they are taking away all our things and we don't get jobs. A few people appropriate higher jobs and we are denied and we are suffering. Now is the complaint less now? This complaint is there or not? Then why you complain the other ancient system? When you are creating the same problem in a more aggravative way, more worse way, when you create the same problem, why do you blame the old system with a lesser problem? This is because we are second-hand people, not think for ourselves. We think what others criticize. Missionaries criticize, we become their disciple. Because all this going to English medium school, learning from missionaries. They criticize, they wrote books, TV say, we repeat it. Communist missionaries and Marxist missionaries and Muhammad, all these three fellows criticize. Anyway, you be it. So, Varini, that's over. Now, Agni is over. Now, Ari. So, Gurave Namaha, Guruve Namaha Allah. Okay, already we have 15 minutes. We'll finish in 2 minutes all these things. Arihi. Ari is a Shatru. Arihi. Say, Arihi. Ari. Arayaha. Ariyaha helbaradu. Re becomes Re. Arai. Arayaha. That's because I taught number of students. They all say Ariyaha, Ariyaha. Ariyaha ellide? Arayaha. Harayaha. Hariyaha Allah. Arayaha. Agnayaha. Agniyaha Allah. Agnayaha. Okay? Arihi, Ari, Arayaha. Arihi is one enemy. Ari, two enemies. Arayaha, many enemies. Okay. Asi. Asihi sword. Asihi, Asi. Asayaha. Many swords. Okay, next. Udadhihi. Udadhi. Udadhayaha. Udadhi. Udadhayaha. Say. Udadhihi. Udadhayaha. Means samudras. See, samudra we have already studied. Samudra, have you studied? Samudra, we have studied. See? Samudra we have studied. Samudra means sea. Sea. Udadi means ocean. Both are same. Samudraha is akaranta. Udadihi is ikaranta. Both mean the sea or the ocean. Mahasamudra, Mahodadi. Mahasamudraha, Mahodadi. Mahodadi is Gunasandhi. Maha Udadihi, Mahodadi. Uda, water. Udakam. Uda is water. Uda, Udakam, Bala, Balaka, both are same. Uda, Udaka, Bala, Balaka, both are same. Ka added means the same. So, Uda, water. Dhi andre Nidhi. Udadi. Udakam, Udakanam, Nidhi. Nidhi of water, Jala Rashi. Okay. Rishihi, Rishi, Rushayaha. Rishihi, Rishi, Rushayaha. Next, Kapihi. Kapi, Kapayaha. Kapayaha. Pa. It should be totally pa. Monkeys. Next, Kavihi. Kavayaha. Okay, next. Girihi. Girayaha. Mountains. Giri, two mountains. Kavayaha, many mountains. Okay. Dhurjatihi. Dhurjatihi ಈಸ್ ಎ ಶಿವ. ಧೂ ಅಂದರೆ ಧೂಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಧೂಮ, ಧೂಮವರ್ಣ. ಜಟಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಜಟ. ಒನ್ ಹೂ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಟ್ ಎ ಜಟ ಹೂಸ್ ಜಟ ಈಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎ what you call ash color. Dhurjati. Okay, dhurjati, dhurjati, dhurjatayah. Although there is no plural in the meaning, there is only one Shiva, but in for word has got a number gender, therefore we use it. Dhurjatayah. So okay, then Nrupatihi. Nrupatihi, Nrupati, Nrupatayah. So Nrupaha we have studied. Nru andre Manusha. Pa andre one who protects. Nrupaha akaranta punlinga. Pati, Pati means one who is a master, one who is a leader. Nru Manusha. Pati is a leader. Nrupati. Manushanam Pati. Manusha, leader of Manushas. So Nrupatihi, Nrupati, Nrupatayah, kings. Nrupa and Nrupatayah are both same, but Nrupaha is akaranta, Nrupati is ikaranta. Here in this chapter, better use Nrupati. You may use that also, but use both so that you will get practice of both. Okay. Then Pavihi. Pavi is Indra's thunderbolt, Vajrayidam. Vajrayidha. Pavihi, Pavi, Pavayaha. Okay. Panihi, Pani, Panayaha. Pani is Hasta. Hasta is akaranta, Pani is ikaranta. You may use both for practicing. Panihi, Pani, Panayaha. Pinaka Pani. Pinaka is Trishula. Trishulavu Paniyalliruvavanu. Pinaka Pani. Okay. Yatihi, Yati, Yatayaha. Yati sannyasi. So Vyadihi, Vyadhi, Vyadhayaha. Vyadhayaha. Okay. Harihi, Hari, Harayaha. Vari, Varini, Varini, Varini. Kelavu sandhis are here. I think you can skip the sandhi because time is already up. We'll tell one sandhi is there. Shall I tell? What? Na is indeclinable. Avyaya. Na goes with the verb. Gachati, na gachati. Na is avyayam. Avyayam means it has no gender and linga. Linga vachana is not there. Just an avyayam. So this avyaya word negative, it means no. But it is joined with verb. Gachati, na gachati. Gachati, he goes. Na gachati, he doesn't go. Gachami, I go. Na gachami, I don't go.
Okay.
Simple. So only sandhi if you want, I'll tell you quickly in few seconds. Seconds means really few seconds. Okay. We have studied first Visarga sandhi, Visarga preceded by A. Second Visarga is Visarga preceded by long A. Visarga preceded by remaining vowels. All vowels in one stroke. Visarga preceded by other vowels other than A or soft consonant. Sorry, Ach or soft consonant. Why A? Vowel or soft consonant. What happens? This Visarga changes to Ra.
Okay.
That's all. Nothing over. I told you few seconds, I will finish it. For example, Agnihi Asti. Agnihi. First, when the Visarga is there, immediately look to what is behind. If it is A, you have to see the later one. If it is A, again you have to see the later, what is following. But if before is the E, U, any other vowel, afterwards you have to see the vowel, what you call Ach and Hash. This Agni changes to Agnir. That's all. Agnir. Agnir Asti. Agnir Asti, Agnir Asti. Agnihi Dahati. Say whatever.
Agnir Dahati.
Correct. Agnir Dahati. That's all. What else is there? Agnir Dahati. Agnir Gachati. Kavir Gachati. Kavihi Gachati. Kavir Gachati. Yatihi Gachati. Yatir Gachati. Hage. Nrupatir Jayati. Nrupatihi Jayati. Nrupatir Jayati. So whenever there is anything other than E, Uru, we have learnt only Ikaranta only. It is easy. Only E comes. But even if Vu comes also, it is same. Here we have learnt only Ikaranta. But even if Vurulu, any other letter, any other thing, it becomes Ir. That's all. Okay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namah. Hari Om Tatsat. Now you do this translation, Sanskrit to English, English to Sanskrit. There may be one or two sandhis which I have not taught. Anyway, I'll teach in the while correcting the sentences. You may try. If you don't know, at least you leave the sandhis as it is. I'll tell them. I shall correct them. Om Shanti.